I believe I am Charles and Camilla's son.
The Queensland man who claims to be the secret son of King Charles and Camilla has dropped a series of major new bombshells in an exclusive interview with 7 News Digital. Simon Dorante-Day has confirmed a new court battle he is planning against the monarch and his new mission to get DNA from one of the King's closest family members. Now, super quick recap. Simon Dorante-Day says he is the son of the King and Queen and that he was conceived when Camilla was 18 and Charles 17. He says when he was born, he was adopted to a friend of one of Queen Elizabeth's staff. You can watch his full backstory in the article below. But first, Simon and his wife, Dr. Elviana, revealed to 7 News their thoughts on Prince William and the Princess of Wales' shock cancer diagnosis.
Oh, I mean, we feel sorry for Kate and Will and the kids, obviously. I mean, who wouldn't? It's sad news, hard thing to deal with.
Shocked, but we knew there was something more and why they didn't share earlier what was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, they needed some time to get to terms, come to terms with what was going on in their own life before they were in a situation to share. However, I think that, in relation to what they shared in the photoshopped image, I guess, that increased the concern from the public in relation to what was going on. And I think that was not an appropriate move to make, and even though she apologized, she was brave enough to apologize after that move. I think, the public is looking for honesty, not deceit.
It's not all clear yet. There's still some issues there that aren't. I mean, what was the initial surgery that Kate went in for? I know a lot of people are concerned about that, and it's a very fine line between that breach of privacy and wanting to know publicly. And I think the public have a right to know. The people on my page expressed genuine concern as to if Kate was all right. And I think that's very valid, but given the situation, you can see some of it. But it was an interesting watching all the different reactions from over here and watching the royal experts not know what was going on and try and figure out what was going on. I've never been a particular fan of Kate, but they got me feeling sorry for her, the way they were dealing with it. I mean, was it actually her that posted that or was it William? I mean, people have everyone's asking the question. I see the media in England now is going after all these social media trolls and people that come up with conspiracy theories. But hang on a minute. They were part of that.
Leaders don't do that. You be straight up.
You be straight up.
Let the people know. I mean, they played with the public to some degree. The public's emotions. That's not right. It's unethical.
Like I said, I do genuinely feel sorry for them. I mean, cancer is not a good thing for anybody to. I mean, I've got a lot of friends, a lot of family, lost a lot of people over the year with cancer. We all know what that's like and how traumatic that is to deal with. It would have been me. I would have had to, we were saying things like in the early stages of that, well, when we face things like that, when we've had sicknesses and things, I've taken the kids out. I've gone to church with the kids. I've taken the kids to the beach. Why do we not see William doing that? And that sort of thing, I think maybe they should learn from that the public not seeing that take place did raise issues, and people are right to question things. And I think that's following on from the COVID incident. People are untrustworthy at the moment or anything government or institutions like that are throwing at them. So they need more clarity and transparency about what they're saying.
And I don't think we've heard the end of this.
I don't think we have. I don't think we've heard all the truth.
Things will get worse before it gets better.
I think they let it down. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I do. I mean, admittedly, he's not the best health either at the moment. But I mean, like I said on my page, if you look at the photos of Kate, okay, she's not well, but she's well enough to do what she did the other day and do that video. I think if they'd have done that earlier, that probably would have cut down. That vacuum wouldn't have existed. And this is what I mean. I mean, we live in that vacuum.
And I'm still questioning it because the skinny jeans, abdominal surgery, that just doesn't.
I find that as a man, I wouldn't want to wear anything.
It's probably just my personal
abdominal surgery. Yeah. So certainly that raised. I mean, there was a lot of questions we had early on that sort of raised shackles a bit, and it's like, what's going on here? Either the monkey's not got a good grip on this, or they're not able to tell what it really is. And I still think there's an element of that. We haven't heard the truth. But time will tell.
In a new development, Simon has revealed 7 News how he plans to take King Charles and Camilla to court if the pair embark on a tour of Australia, as is planned this year.
Well, I'd be very silly person that when he comes into the same jurisdiction as me not to do something. But I think I'd be even sillier. I'd be even sillier to let that cat out of the bag right now, because what happened last time. I mean, the word got out of what I was doing, and then people were able to manipulate themselves and the rules. So, but basically, what was happening was that at the time I made a move to put in the family court to have a meeting with them, get the family court to order them to have a meeting with us in private while they were here, and that got shut down for reasons that I could very easily argue, and I can. And then your question is, what am I going to do this time? Well, I got the right to do what I'm doing. I'm an adopted child.
And
I can prove that I am not who they say I am.
Yeah.
And when I get that opportunity in a court of law, I really will show how I know that. And then what's going on here? You know, there's always something going on in the background here at our place. It never stops. People think just because it goes quiet on Facebook, it goes quiet, but it doesn't.
And we're hammering in the background.
Yeah.
You know, the governments know about Simon and I.
I mean, there's a number of things I can do. As all the legal experts out there will be doing the same thing. With this conversation, they'll be going, well, he could do this, he could do that, he could do this, or he could do that. Yeah, well, I'm not going to say which one I'm going to do, but of course I will be doing something when he arrives.
And like I said,
so I said, don't come unless you're willing to have that conversation.
But at the end of the day, if he does come out, when he does come out and tell the truth, at least people have been exposed to us. It's not like a big shock, you know. So we've had to do the groundwork to get ourselves out there so that people are aware before they're actually told.
When we're both in the same jurisdiction, it's the time I have to act, because it's the only time I can get him.
Yeah.
So I've got to get him when he's here.
Yeah.
It's just which way. Painful. Yeah, it's painful. It is. You know. Yeah, you know. And I mean, you've been a big baby. You know, people know, no, I'm not like that. You know, I'm hardworking. I'm very diligent.
Yeah.
I do everything I do at 100% or 110%.
Yeah. So he was different before, and then after finding out, he changed again.
The more they deny me, the more anyone that knows me or work with me knows the worst thing you can do is go no, because I'll just keep coming and I'll say yes.
Simon has also revealed that he's been in touch with Prince Harry to request a DNA sample to prove his claims.
I feel sorry for Harry. I have for a very long time. I think he's getting totally the back end of this deal, but we'll see that in time. And I have written to him. I haven't had a response back yet, but it hasn't been that long. So, but as you know, it's not the first time we've written to him. And if you go back and look at the open letters that we did with it was with the New Idea, I think, and then Channel 7. And then look at what we've said in there, and then look at what happened. And it's like a prediction of what was to come. I think one of the things, Megan heard our story. What do you think she thought? And most black women would be, get the kids and run, get out of here. I'm not going to be, she did the right thing. I think me and Harry would get along very well. I always have thought that. I've never thought any different. I mean, I don't think I'd get along as well with William, but I can see the similarities. I can see what he's getting at. People are judging him over what he's saying, but they're not really listening with understanding about what he's saying
and what he's actually endured
and
before
what he's
we even
endured.
met Meghan.
I mean, when I read that, I saw that little incident out of his book where Charles was laughing at the breakfast table about Harry's father. Now, I'm a father. I'd say that these kids all know that I'm their dad, and I make it quite clear that I'm their dad. To make a joke out of that at his expense in front of his face, I can understand how that would make Harry feel. Would it not make you feel like that? Why don't you just say, I'm your, why didn't he come out and say it all those years ago?
He's my son.
He's my son.
Instead of leaving people
will you
talk
stop
about it
this gossips about it? I mean, that's the obvious way to deal with it. It should have just cut years ago.
Mm.
The poor lad's had to deal with it ever since,
All we want is the truth. All we want him to do is tell and her Camilla as well. It's the both of them, and they both need to own up.
I'm 100% confident that I will have the answer to this and the truth out there before I leave this
Before they leave this earth.
before they leave, I'd say.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think, quite frankly, all he wants from them is a hug. Come on, your boy wants a hug. That's all he wants. And the truth.
The truth. Oh, the truth. I mean,
They owe him that much.